Ladies and gentlemen,
Good evening.
I'd like to bring to the meeting of the faculty, FSA, Faculty, Staff, and Administration Committee to order. The first agenda item is the approval of the minutes of February 1st, 2016. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. Thank you. Please note that we have an additional walk-on item at the end of our revised agenda today. Copies are available on the table. We'll now move to the policy calendar. We will now consider our first policy calendar item. We will be taking one item, 1B4, out of order, and I will ask President Jennifer Rabb to present this naming opportunity at Hunter College.
Thank you so much, Trustee Bjorn. Thank you for permitting this to be out of order. We're here today to request the committee's approval for the naming of a renovation for one of our large dance studios in our Thomas Hunter Hall, the Gothic building on Lexington Avenue, to be named the Peggy, in tribute to Peggy Tershwell. Many of you know Peggy Tershwell. She recently celebrated 51 years of service at CUNY. 14 at Hunter, where she's been an assistant provost and had a variety of responsibilities in the provost's office. Although Peggy retired a few years ago, she continues to work on a part-time basis. And one of her most recent activities has been to help Hunter create the first freestanding dance department at the City University of New York. In her honor and in celebrating her 51st year at CUNY, we asked her brother, who was very close with her, if he would make a gift to name the large dance studio after her. He agreed, and we've received $500,000 to renovate this wonderful studio, and we're calling it the Peggy in Peggy Tershwell's honor. And we request permission for this naming and this renovation and acceptance of these funds today.
I got a brother like that. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second. It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? The motion carries.
Thank you. You all come visit the Peggy.
So we are all smiling because we're looking for a brother like that. So we will now move to item 1B1, is a governance matter at the City College of New York. And I will ask the provost to join us at the table. Good evening.
Good evening. So this is a change in the way the senators are elected. Currently, the senators are elected at large within each divisions or school, and the faculty expressed concern because certain departments may end up not being represented. So they would like to have the election by department instead of at large by division, so that they want to make sure that each department is represented on the Senate.
Okay, makes sense. I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, the motion carries. Thank you very much.
Question, is this consistent?
Is this consistent across other campuses, or is this unique to City
Right.
College?
Different colleges use different methods.
Different colleges use different methods. Okay. President Karen Gould, would you join us to present item 1B2?
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here for such a wonderful gift. Mr. Samuel Gottlieb, class of 1940, had a distinguished career as a lawyer, but also earned most of his money on the Philadelphia Stock Exchange, gave very little to Brooklyn College, lost his family, and was discovered by one of our young and energetic staff individuals in the Office of Advancement at Brooklyn College. visited him several times. He was apparently a wonderful man and had very few people with whom he was engaged at the end of his life, and decided to give essentially most of his estate to Brooklyn College, $1.5 million and 50,000 as well, for the library, because he had determined that his great education at Brooklyn College served him very well, and that the library was at the center of academic life. What is wonderful about this gift is that there really are very few constraints in terms of how we use it for the library, and that's wonderful because we have many different kinds of needs. So we asked the librarian, our acting dean of the library, to help us understand what they most needed, but also to help us identify an excellent room that could carry his and his deceased wife's name. We have done that. It is what we call generically the library multipurpose room, not very elegant. So essentially it's a renaming. But this is a room where we receive lots of guests, has a very large, is technologically rather sophisticated. And so many people will pass through that room and see his name, the Gottlieb's name, both Samuel and Bernice. We're very pleased and look forward to your support.
Thank you. May I have a motion for approval? Second? It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions? The motion carries, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We will now move to item 1B3. It's a naming opportunity at Queens College. The Vice President for Institutional Advancement will present.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here. Queens College has had a wonderful relationship with a Dr. Barry Bleckman from the class of 1963, who for many years has supported the political science department and our Model UN program. He recently pledged $100,000, and we are requesting approval for naming of the Dr. Barry Bleckman Seminar Room located at room 202 in Powdermaker Hall, which is where most of our social science programs are. Dr. Bleckman has, as I said, supported Model UN programs for many years. It'll support the future development of our next set of political leaders, and our Model UN programs have been very successful and very competitive, and they travel all over the country, including Canada, to compete in the Model UN programs. Dr. Bleckman has, for more than 50 years, been a key leader in national security, both publicly and privately. And in recognition of this gift and other gifts that he's given to the college, we're requesting the naming of this room.
Thank you. May I have a motion for approval? Second? It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? The motion carries, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We will now have item 1B5, an amendment to the university's conflict of interest policy, presented by Vice Chancellor Waters.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This amendment to the Conflict of Interest Policy has been approved by the University Faculty Senate and the Office of General Counsel. It addresses the conflict that arises when professors who author textbooks or other educational materials require their own students to purchase those materials. Universities around the country deal with this conflict of interest in varying ways. Up until now, CUNY did not have a uniform policy on this issue, and there have been a number of requests that we create one. In Section 5.1 of the proposed amendment to our policy, CUNY officially recognizes that academic freedom includes the right of faculty to choose the materials they assign to their students, and that conflicts of interest in this area should be avoided. To resolve the conflict of interest problem, the amendment recommends in Section 5.2 that when a faculty member assigns his or her own materials for purchase, the faculty member should direct the revenue received therefrom to a program for the use by or support of students at the college at which the faculty member teaches, including student scholarships or emergency funds. Section 5.3 addresses courses with multiple sections, only some of which are taught by the faculty author. In that situation, the decision regarding whether the faculty member's textbook should be assigned to all sections must be made by an official group of faculty from the department and not by any single faculty member, including the chair. In this situation, the faculty author may not participate in the decision, but may keep the revenue from the sale of the textbook to all students in the course, including those students in the faculty members' own sections. Madam Chair, I present item 1B5 for the board's approval.
Thank you. May I have a motion for
The
approval?
UFS would just like to thank the Office of Vice Chancellor Schaefer for his assistance in developing and refining this policy for faculty.
Thank you. Oh, he's not here, but thank
And as
you.
a student representative, I would like to say I appreciate the efforts as well, and it seems very fair and thorough.
Great.
Thank you. It's been moved, may I have a second? Second. It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oppose, abstention, the motion carries. Thank you very much. It was with great pleasure that I present item 1B6 regarding changes to the investment options under the university's optional retirement and tax-deferred annuity plans. Copies of an executive summary and other materials in support of this action are on the table for your review. As you are aware, Trustee Martell and I co-chair the Pension Advisory Task Force, which was convened to review the university's optional retirement plan and tax-deferred annuity plan and look at the myriad investment opportunities that CUNY offers to see if they're consistent with current best practices in the market, and also review the associated fees charged to participants. We engaged an excellent consultant, Camet Retirement Group, who are here with us tonight, that has done extensive work with a number of universities around the country to assist us in this very detailed work. Among the actions previously considered and approved by this committee and the Board of Trustees are the adoption of an investment policy statement, adoption of a revised ORP plan document, establishment of revenue credit accounts, and most recently, the designation of TIAA as sole record keeper for the plans. We now are pleased to bring before you a resolution to streamline the investment options available to participants from more than 200 down to an array of 39 best in class across all major asset classes. Our intent is to minimize paralysis by analysis for plan participants while allowing them to construct a diversified portfolio for their retirement and keeping fees at a minimum. And speaking of fees, I'd like to note that a result of the Pension Advisory Task Force, administrative fees charged to plan participants have already been reduced by approximately $1.6 million this year. I'm also pleased to announce that we have for the first time included emerging managers and WMBE firms on our platform. Joining us today from Camet Retirement is Mike Webb, along with other consultants, Evan Giller from Boutman Well Fay LLP. I want to take an opportunity before we vote on this to give a resounding thank you to the offices and the people of Vice Chancellor Waters' office, and in particular, Andrea Yanko. Andrea, would you stand? I know this is inappropriate, but Andrea came on just early this year, and she has really brought an enormous resource of talent that has enabled us to move forward. So on behalf of the City University of New York, I'd like to thank you for all of your work, but for all of the team's work on this behalf. So with that, that concludes my report, and I'd like to have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second? Second. Are there any questions, comments that you'd like to ask of the team?
I would just like to second your comments about the great support that we got from Vice Chancellor Waters, the whole team, legal, budget, everyone, the excellent consulting. Andre, obviously a wonderful addition. We did this in 18 months, the whole program redone, an excellent piece of work that I'm quite pleased to be part of. I think, and we're still talking.
This is like the one thing you're talking about.
No,
We're very
it's
proud of our work.
really been a wonderful effort, and it represents how CUNY as a whole works very efficiently to maximize its productivity on behalf of our students, faculty, and administration. So, it's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstention? The motion carries, and thank you very much.
Yay.
Yay, right.
Now we will move to changes to the investment.
No, that was
We
that.
did that already. Finally, we have a walk-on item concerning the reappointment of a commissioner on the CUNY Civil Service Commission, and I will ask Vice Chancellor Waters to present items 1B7.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This resolution regards the reappointment of Elaine S. Reese to CUNY Civil Service Commission. The CUNY Civil Service Commission was established in 1988 to oversee all civil service operations for the university and to administer provisions in the New York State education law, as well as CUNY rules and regulations regarding the civil service. The commission enforces the rules covering classification of CUNY civil service and acts as the guardian of the merit system for classified staff. In addition, the commission is responsible for hearing cases of individuals in managerial titles, as that group of employees is not represented by a union. Such cases may include examination complaints, concerns about work conditions, and/or disciplinary issues. The commission is made up of 3 members appointed by the chancellor with the advice and consent of the Board of Trustees, each of whom serve for a term of 6 years. The current members of the commission are Marilyn J. Flood, who is the chair, Tilden J. Lamel, and Elaine S. Reese. The resolution being presented today authorizes the chancellor to reappoint Ms. Reese, whose current term expires on May 31st, 2016, for an additional 6-year term from June 1st, 2016 through May 31st, 2022. Ms. Rice is well qualified for the position. She serves on the faculty of Brooklyn Law School, has also served as acting deputy commissioner and general counsel for the Department of Employment for the City of New York. Madam Chair, I present this matter for the committee's consideration.
Thank you. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, please say aye. Oppose? Abstention? The motion carries. Thank you. That completes our policy calendar. We do not have any appointments to consider for the Chancellor's University report this evening. There are a number of reappointments with early tenure pursuant to the bylaws in Section 2, which appear for information purposes only and do not require a report or a vote. Vice Chancellor Waters does not have a report this evening. So in that case,
That's because I've been working on the pension stuff.
I could attest to that. So in that case, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Yes. All in favor? Opposed? Abstention? Good evening.